Hey, welcome back to the channel. I want to take a few minutes to talk about a layered communication plan. We talk on this channel a lot about getting ready for emergencies, about dealing with emergency communications, and being able to communicate even when everything is not good around you. And so, as you know, I've got some amateur radios. I've got my amateur radio license. I've got some GMRS radios. I've got the license for that as well. We have the one that I carry with me, a couple that stay at the house all the time. My little girl knows how to use that one. I'm not sure, uh, but she and I are probably the only ones in the household. We need to work on that. But if we were in an emergency, would we be able to hear news from the local area? If they're able to broadcast, yes, we would. We've got FM capabilities there. We've got some TVs with antennas. We've got battery backup. We've got generator backup, so we could power those. So we could receive broadcast TV, FM, and AM because I've got an AM receiver. We could also receive shortwave. I don't have a way to transmit shortwave yet. Hopefully, I'll change that at some point and get a transceiver that goes in over the shortwave bands. But as of yet, I would be listen only, and that's fine. Um, Short range VHF, UHF, 220. I have some ways to communicate that way. Um, and not just listen to what's going on. So we've got those options, and I've got GMRS as an option. So I've got a few different layers to my communications profile, if you will. I want to add some to it. Like I mentioned, shortwave transceiver. I'd love to add that into my basket of tools. I don't know that it's a high priority because I don't see me absolutely needing to communicate out overseas in the event of an emergency. It's more about getting help locally, but it could be fun. I mean, obviously, that could be great. I've got the digital here, which I have set up with a hotspot on running off of Raspberry Pi. Can't see that too well. I've got cell phone charging batteries in here. I don't know if you can see the LEDs, but it looks like we're currently transmitting. Um, I've got a Starlink Mini that powers off of 12 volt. And so, off of the car or off of a battery set up with a solar panel, I could run internet and I could have global communications with that without going through shortwave. So, we've got a lot of good layers to our communication profile here. One of the areas that I really want to look at and add is Meshtastic. LoRa Meshtastic it uses unlicensed radio frequencies, meaning anybody can make use of it. You don't have to be licensed. And you have nodes that will communicate and relay messages. So how this would work is, let's say all of the cell phones are down. You have already installed the Meshtastic app on your phone, and you have a Meshtastic node on your person, maybe in your bag. You switch it on, you see that it links to a couple of other local nodes, and your spouse switches theirs on in the emergency and cuts on the Meshtastic app, and you're able to send text messages back and forth. And they're actually encrypted text messages, although I don't know how strong that encryption is. But you can communicate back and forth over some pretty decent distances with this setup. And so that's one of the things I want to add to the communication profile, because otherwise it gets complicated, because we've got a lot of questions as to which one are we going to use? How are we going to do it? Now, I'll talk about that in a different video, and you definitely want to come up with a plan for that and put that as a part of your communications plan for emergencies. But I think in the future, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Meshtastic on this channel. So anyway, if you all have a communication plan in place for your family, with your friends, let me know down in the comments. I mean, I don't think you're going to breach operational security, but just give me a summary. Let me know. Okay, so we've decided that we're going to do this, and I don't need that. I've chosen to do this. I need to fill out. Do you have any gaps in your profile of what you're able to do that you're looking to fill? Is there any recommended hardware that you have that will do everything? Or, would you rather have multiple radios to do multiple things? Just let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. I thank you for stopping by, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.